Hello friends and welcome back for another episode of Indie Impressions. My name is Nick and today we're going to be checking out No One Has to Die. It's a sort of a hybridized pseudo-graphic novel slash puzzle game where essentially each part of this story that unfolds is going to have us making a decision that leads to someone either living or dying, and then as you see on this sort of bracketed little setup we've got on our title screen, it's going to lead us down one path towards one of the many endings to this story. It features a small cast of characters who are all set in this corporation's building who all of a sudden finds itself on fire, and we have to move around tiles to sort of position things so fire doesn't spread, and essentially it's sort of the puzzle element is secondary to the story progression, but it's a really cool presentation. I don't think I've ever seen something quite like this before, and I think it's something probably you guys are going to like quite a bit. So why don't we jump right into a run of it. We're not going to go all the way to an ending, but we will see a little bit of the gameplay just so you know what to expect if you want to try this one yourself, and it is free, of course. So we're going to click on the top tile here, which is going to start out our story. There's going to be a bit of reading here, and perhaps a little bit of adult language, so hopefully nobody minds that too much. So urgent, the Phoenix Corporation headquarters security has been compromised. All personnel evacuate immediately. Tempest engaged, security room locked, emergency services contacted, ETA 3 hours, 17 minutes. That's a very long time for emergency services to get there, isn't it? Visitor has logged on to the Phoenix Corporation communications network. Hello, is anyone there? I'm not quite sure if the visitor is supposed to actually be me. It might actually be. Well, I guess I'm sort of taking that person's role. Whether or not I'm actually acting with my own agency or not is sort of separate and secondary. So what the hell is going on here? Christina's logged on to the Phoenix Corporation Communications Network. There's a fire. Everybody evacuate the building. Steve is logged on to the Phoenix Corporation Communications Network. Oh, it's you, Chris. This is pretty bad. I can smell smoke from here. Steve, why are you still here? I thought you'd gone home. I was working back late. Why do you care? Troy is logged on to the Phoenix Corporation Communications Network. Lionel is logged on. Lionel, this is the CEO of Phoenix Corporation telling everybody in the facility to evacuate the building. Security staff report in immediately. Visitor says security staff are dead. I found them lying in the control room, and I saw a warning on the screen about a fire, so I logged in. What happened to them? Troy logs on and says, I killed them, and I lit the fire. Wow, Troy. What a guy. Who the hell are you? Is this a joke? There's no time for this now, visitor. You're in the control room, then you'll have to coordinate us in escaping. You'll need one of the security codes. Security codes. The code is RFTS. What, is this some kind of game to you? Security code confirmed, security system online, beginning scan floor B3. It worked. Now, you may have very difficult choice coming up, I'm afraid. So we're starting in the underground floors, and I guess we're all trying to escape up to the ground level so we can actually get out. It's a very unfortunate way for things to go. It seems like it's kind of a bad idea to not have an alternate exit, isn't it? Like, if you're going to be in underground, if the fire started on, like, the second floor down and you were on the third floor down, like, what are you going to do? Anyway. One would hope the sprinklers would take care of that kind of thing. Evidently, in this game, they drown you. But that's just sort of par for course, I guess, because, you know, it's a game. Serves as a premise. So, calculations complete. Fire on floor B3. One casualty unavoidable. So the security system knows somebody's about to die, and we get to make that decision, I suppose. The candidates are Troy or Steve. What does that mean? Our visitor is going to have to choose between keeping me or Steve alive. I trust this won't be a hard decision. So since Troy is the guy that lit the fire, well, we're going to probably want to kill him. Kill that asshole. I'm not dying for him. My job here is done. I'm ready to die. Fire is growing, visitor. You will be led through how the system works. So it's like, it's a pretty weird framework. Obviously, we're being led to believe that Troy is like a super bad guy, but then he also gave the security code. So that sort of makes me wonder, well, are we hearing the whole story here? Is there not more going on than is obvious? And that's my first instinct, but, you know, when you're in a pressure position, you're kind of probably going to act from your gut, and you're like, well, this guy set the fire, clearly we're going to have him die. So we'll just go down the obvious path, but you guys can feel free to take whatever path you want on your own gameplay. Fire is growing, visitor, you'll be led. Right, already read that. Christina says, hurry up. Urgent, please enter your security system orders immediately. The chat system is unlocked until your decision's made. So now we actually get to the part where we actually play the game, essentially. This is the puzzle element, although not so much a puzzle, it's more like a set of iconography that we're going to use to make a decision. So starting from the left, water will come from here when the switch is on. So the switch being this part over on the right that you can see above the CEO. who is separated off in another floor, or another room or area, so he's not really a candidate to be killed in this particular situation. So water puts out the fire, but also drowns people. Turn off the switch to stop it flowing. So each turn that the water's on, it's going to flow one more tile from this spout onward. So fire cannot move through locked doors. Click a lock to lock it. You only may lock one. Fire will grow every turn. So if we want to save this character, we're going to lock the door in front of him. We need to move the CEO one tile up before we're allowed to toggle the water switch on. And then when we're ready, we can actually click this arrow on the top that will start the fire spreading and the water moving. We can then untoggle the water to make sure that it doesn't spread another tile and kill Christina. And now the fire has been isolated from this position, so this block now has water in it. Fire can't pass through that. However, it will still continue to spread unabated in any other tiles. So in this particular situation, clicking the arrow again will kill this character up here. And that's how that went. So, I think we're done here. I think everything that's happened is going to happen. And the fire can't continue to spread anymore because there's no more tiles for it to go to. So that's the end of that. Fire has been contained. Casualties, Troy. Phew, that was tense for a bit. Glad that's over. How can you talk like that when someone just died? He had it coming. He tried to kill us. Really? I'm pretty sure he just saved you. Not his best decision. See what I mean? It's a little complicated. Not quite as straightforward as you'd think. And is why you'd probably want to explore all the different paths that you can take down this. Oh, haha. So you two know each other. Yep, me and Steve had the misfortune of working together for the last few years. Tell me about it, Chris. Don't you wish you'd gotten to work in Troy's department instead? Shouldn't you two be looking for a way out? We're not all old like you. We can walk and type, thank you very much. Main hallway's completely destroyed by fire. I can't get through. I'm having the same problem. I found a staircase up to the next floor, though. Oh, same here. There's one here, too. Shall we head up so everyone's moving up to the next floor? Sure, why not? Okay, I'm heading up now. Scanning floor B2. Our visitor's being very quiet. What's your story? Me? I don't work here. I was just making a delivery. A delivery, let me guess. Tires? Pop-up books? No, stationery. There's some strange guesses, though. What exactly do you do here? What do we do here? You know, that's a great question. What do we do here, Lionel? I know you got that message, Lionel. Forget it. I wasn't expecting an answer anyway. To be honest, no one really knows what Phoenix Corporation actually does. The company buys random items, toilet seats, guitars, you name it, in bulk, then sells it all off for next to no profit. We're all almost certain it's a front. But it pays well, so we stay here. Well, Christina works here because no one else wants her, but that's different. How about you shut up? I asked Lionel a serious question. I want to know about the cockatiels. Cockatiels? Oh, the cockatiel story. For a year, or for nearly a year, we've been consistently getting in shipments of live cockatiels by the thousands. God knows how many birds they bought. But the cockatiels were never seen again. No one knows what was done with them. It's an animal rights issue. Whoa, that is weird. What's going on, Lionel? We were buying cockatiels looking for a phoenix. I don't get it. You don't have to get it. That didn't even answer the question. So, yeah, some pretty strange characters we've got here in this situation. Has anyone found anything interesting on the second floor, visitor asks? Nope. Nothing much here. Most of the building is reserved for storage. Shouldn't you guys all know your way around this building? Our access to the rooms here is very limited. That would be our request, at your request, wouldn't it, Lionel? Truth be told, I rarely visit myself. I know what facilities this building contains, but I know very little about its layout. That's right, it's been in the notices for weeks you're coming today. Was today something special? I was just dealing with some financial business, nothing that could have encouraged arson. Calculations complete. Fire on floor B2, one casualty unavoidable. Candidates Lionel, Steve. God damn it, not again! Either Lionel or Steve is going to die. As the CEO of this corporation, I must request that you save me. Don't you dare, please save Steve. I don't know why this fire started, but you can be sure Lionel's responsible in some way, but Steve's done nothing wrong. So now you start to wonder, well, what is Christina defending Steve so much about, and is there a reason for it, or is she trying to throw the CEO under the bus for a reason? There's so much more, like, backstory-wise that it makes you curious about. And in general, I find that this presentation is really well done. You know, the simple iconography, just having these tiny pictures of the characters, each associated with a color. You know, there doesn't need to be a whole lot asset-wise for you to all of a sudden find that this game is kind of grabbing at you a little bit and makes you want to feel a little compelled to progress more into it and see where this is going to go. And it does definitely make me interested in knowing where the different paths would head. Also, music is outstanding. Really, really well done music. It's great to hear you sticking up for me for once, Chris, but our visitors already saved me once. It's their choice what they want to do this time around, or what they do this time around. Visitor, my life is in your hand. Make the right decision. Save me. You will be well compensated. This isn't about money, you asshole. Shut up, both of you. It's getting hot in here. That is up to our visitor. This is up to our visitor. Urgent, please enter your security system orders immediately. The chat system has been locked until your decision's made. Alright, so now we have another situation about how we want to progress. It would be pretty simple here. Well, actually, we could... Technically, couldn't we let any of the three die? I don't think it has to necessarily be between those two people. Because if I didn't lock... Oh, you know what? Yeah, if I... Okay, so I have to save Christina because she's the only one that has access to this, the water switch handle thingy. Because the fire is here, I couldn't lead anybody down this hallway. So, yeah, I do have to click on her lock for certain, and then toggle this on so the water starts going. Alright, so floor, or turn 1 goes. We have one more tile on this end. How would I go about saving the other guy? I think it's just gonna, like, spread to him no matter what. And wouldn't he drown either way? I don't know. It's an interesting conundrum that we're in. Right, so he's drowned. Fire goes out. And then if we want to try and solve this puzzle in a different way, that's the only way that we're gonna save anybody other than those two. Oh, he drowned anyway. So too many deaths, simulation restarted. So evidently that's not the way that that goes. Right, so I would have had to make another action at some point here. I think I want to actually move him up a tile or something. How does this work? Go... If I move myself forward again... Yep, then he still burns to death, and the simulation gets restarted again. And it only lets you lock one door, like, ever, so it's not like I can do something differently there. I could, like, throw him into harm's way faster. Although I'm not sure that's going to contain the fire any faster, either. Oh, I need to turn the water off as soon as it's in front of him. That's all I need to do differently. No big deal. Alright, there we go. Kind of forgetting about that. For some reason, I thought, like, once the water starts going, it's, like, not going to ever stop or something. Fire has been contained. Casualties, Lionel. Good. Now who's being insensitive? That was the head of our company, Chris. Yeah, really. And you chose me over him, visitor? Don't ask me to explain my choices. It makes me sick thinking about what I just had to do. How do you think I feel? I didn't get a choice. What if I wanted to die to save Lionel? As if you would ever sacrifice yourself for anyone. And you would? No, but at least I'm upfront about it. Oh, I found a set of stairs. I'm going to head on up. I'm already on the next floor. I just didn't bother saying anything about it. That's a great story. Beginning scan of floor B1. Do you think we get paid overtime for this crap? I don't know, it barely matters though. Time and a half of what we make is still next to nothing. Maybe Troy set the fire because he was angry about the wage cuts recently. God, do you have any clue? Wait until we get out of here before we start making jokes about the deceased. Hey, I could be right for all you know. The guy was whack, it couldn't take much to set him off. No, just stop, I mean it. You know, speaking of the deceased, I've been so wrapped up in working with you guys, I almost forgot I'm in a room with 2 dead bodies. Whoa, I'd forgotten too. That's awful. What can you find out about them? I guess I should probably search them, huh? I really don't want to, though. Ugh, good luck. You must have a stronger stomach than me. Okay, I'll go look now. Back. I found a blue file in the hand of one of them. Really, what does it say? It's the security code, the one that Troy gave us. Wait, really? Why are you surprised, Chris? It would explain how Troy could tell us the code. Why, would he give us the code anyway? What does he get out of it? I don't get it either. Why shoot 2 people, set a building on fire, and then try to play the hero? It makes no sense to me. Why don't we ask him? Oh, whoops. No, it's not funny. Hey, simple mistake. Chris? Chris? You sure managed to get yourself ignored a lot. I wasn't that fussed on talking to her anyway. You too. Calculations complete. Fire on floor B1. 1 casualty unavoidable. No! Yep, so now we have to pick between either Christina or Steve. No, no! Chris! Thought I was going to make it. There's only 1 more floor to ground level. You're getting out of here, Chris. There's no way I'm letting you die. Don't you dare. Don't even think about it. You're not sacrificing yourself for me. Chris, you know I don't mean any of the shit I say, right? Of course I do. I'm not an idiot. You don't need to die to prove that. Good, then I'm ready. Steve, no, you don't deserve to die. The music changes over to a Sad, sentimental violin music. No one deserves to die, Chris, especially not you. You're not going to ignore me now, are you? I just don't know what to say. How about goodbye? Whatever happens is the last time we'll ever talk to each other. This isn't how I wanted things to go. You think I want to die? You don't understand. I'm sorry, you two. If I don't do something now, you'll both die. It's alright, I'm ready now. It'll be like a barbecue. Shut up, you're not going to die, is he, visitor? Our visitor knows what they're doing. They'll save you. Visitor, promise you'll save him. Promise me. Alright, so now we have to make the last decision we make about who gets to live and die. And I'm going to leave things off at this point. Unfortunately, I know that might be a little bit frustrating, but I definitely want to encourage you to go try it. No One Has to Die. It's a really cool game. I was surprised at quite how immersive it is, having so little going on, like in terms of graphical assets. The story and the music and the presentation go a really long way to really pulling me into this one, so I hope you feel the same way. I hope you'll check it out. And again, it is free, and the link's going to be right in the description. I'm very curious to know how this ends. This is actually where I stopped when I was playing as well, and I was only going to play for like a minute or two, and then I found myself getting pretty pulled into it. So I will leave you with that. Check out the description for the game itself, and also for my social media links. So if you want to check out my Twitter or my Facebook page, my Twitch TV streaming channel, or even indie-impressions.com, which is my website where I post every day's new episode, and they're all sorted and categorized so you can find what you need. Feel free to do that, and also feel free to let me know what your comments on this one are. I'd love to hear from you on what you think about this presentation. I know this is a game that's been out for a while, and I think a lot of you guys might have already seen it. So I'm very curious to know what your ideas on it, or how other games could take some of the positives away from this and integrate them might be. So feel free to have a discussion in the comments. I'd love to hear from you on that stuff. And of course, any support that you feel for the series, I definitely appreciate that as well. So be sure to come back again tomorrow. New episodes of Indie Impressions go up every single day without exception, so I'll see you back for that. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and I hope you have a lovely night. Talk to you later.